morning, good morning. I'm live. Okay, so today is day 6, and we're going to work right here on this page, and we're actually doing this prompt right here. Use a Christmas song page or page, and we're going to write day 6 here. There we go. Need to go up here. We'll do that one. It will come tomorrow. So, hi, whoever just came in. Welcome, welcome. Let's trim up this. And we're going to do this. I've been getting all my stuff ready. I've been in here working since right at about 5 after 9. I had to search out some stuff. So, anyway, it is what it is. 6. There we go. Hi, Lori. How are you, honey? How are you feeling today? So, day 6. And we're going to glue this little Christmas tree. If you remember when I showed y'all my flip through of the thing that I found that I had misplaced. Do I want it to be red? Yeah, I want it to be red. I showed y'all this here. This these are actually to make a banner, but I don't want a banner. So I saved all of it because I knew I would craft with it. And because my hoarding tendencies like to, oh no, your spine looks crooked with a spot in it, like a C word spot or a fracture spot. To put that right like that. Oh, hopefully so. Hopefully so. And then we're going to put this on top of that. Oh no, I didn't want to do it that way. I wanted to do it up here and cover those holes. Don't be silly, Cindy. Remember what you're doing. There we go. You love that stripy Christmas tree? It's cute, ain't it? So we got that. And then we're going to take, we've got some little ones here. And we're going to take this zigzaggy one and put it here in the corner. I feel fine. Yeah, I feel good. I feel good. I talked to the doctor yesterday when I took Dave for his visit, and I asked her, please call my refills in without making me come in. I told her I promised her I'd come in after the first of the year, that we had some things we needed to check out, that I'd been having some gallbladder attacks and stuff like that. So anyway, so yeah. So after the first of the year and I have my new insurance where my copays are not as high, I'll go in. So we're going to use this word right here, this label right here. We're going to do it. Do it. I actually got into some of that dried glue. Oh, wow. So when Dave got disability, uh, we didn't have to sign up for Medicare. What they told us was that after he'd been on disability for 2 years, he would get Medicare. So we went for nearly 2 years without him having insurance, but he's been on it for a while now. So this is our we're going to do this Christmas song, but I don't know if I want to use the whole page because I don't want to cover up my trees. So I think I'm going to use just this first stanza up here and put it on and put it like that so I can still see my trees. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Now, I don't know why I want to still see my trees, but I do like my trees there. Yeah. That video that I posted the other day, yesterday, late last night. Um, so we actually just passed the 8 year mark of the day that Dave fell dead in his barber shop. It was November the 17th, 2016. And yeah, we just passed that mark. And yeah. I was showing it to Dave again. He he was laughing about how southern he sounds, how long and drawn out. He said the sad thing is I don't talk much better than that now. Yeah. So anyway, but and he is correct. He don't. Came upon a midnight clear. I looked for "Oh Christmas Tree." I mean, it would have been perfect. Couldn't find it. Could not find it. So, "Oh Christmas Tree." I want to put a little glue on that tape. It's bothering me. Just glue that down there. Does does bother me. There we go. It does. So, so that is finished day 6. Day 6. So I can't flip over because I done day 7 over. Well, this is the middle. It's not day 7. So I'll tell you what we're going to do because I've not been here very long. Is I'm going to do another prompt, and I actually started to do this prompt this morning. I'm going to at least make a journal tag and a Christmas tag and a journal card, okay? But I do want to show you something that I did this morning. Is remember I said that I wanted to get the words to "Away in a Manger" and stick it behind there. So I done that. I got that song copied. I got my one of my old hymnals that I haven't tore up. I do have one that I haven't tore up and copied some song pages so that I could just use in my book just for me. So anyway, so we're moving right along. Yeah. Oops, that's day 7. Be careful there, Cindy. Okay, so we're going to move this and we are going to work on making a journal card and at least oh wait. I did just remember something I wanted to do. I wanted to stick this little tree with the red bird in it on here. Not upside down, Cindy, not upside down. There we go. We're going to just stick it right there. I did take the fingernail polish off. I went and bought some fingernail polish remover. I couldn't stand it no more. My fingers couldn't breathe. Yeah, I have to tell a funny story. Okay. So, I don't wear makeup anymore, but I do love makeup anyway. But one of the things that has just bumfuzzled me in the recent years since I quit wearing makeup is the fascination that people have with the false eyelashes. Now, my eyelashes have always been so long that I've had to be careful of what kind of glasses I wore because they would bump my glasses and make my eyelashes sore. I'd get infected eyelashes. Anyway, and I know not everybody's blessed with that. I do know that. I realize that. But I saw this little lady uh, at the she's at the doctor's office, and I saw this little lady, and she had fake eyelashes in. She's probably in her 60s. Anyway, I just like was like, seriously, lady. I mean, if you just realized, and then all I can think of when I see them is there was a funny video that went around of people riding roller coasters with eyelashes on and them flung back up on their foreheads. Anyway, yeah, I have a weird sense of humor. Let's just say it like it is. Well, what those pages are like 5ish. Yeah, so we're gonna make a journaling card that'll let's go 4.5. This is gonna be our journaling card. So anyway, we're gonna make a journaling card here. Oops. I always try to put that over there. Anyway. but but then one of my author friends yesterday, she posted a picture of a lady in the doctor's office where she was talking on the phone really loud, being very and not only was she talking on the phone very loud, she was also on speakerphone. Anyway, so somebody reported her to Facebook for sharing this picture of this lady, and it got removed. Anyway, she said, what makes people do this? And I said, I don't know, but it's the same thing that makes people sit in restaurants and talk at the top of their lungs and drop the F bomb. Dave and I went to eat lunch yesterday, and we were eating lunch, and there was these guys. They were work guys. They were all dirty. They had on work clothes, work boots, and they were dirty. Whatever they were working in, I figure out in the oil fields, out on an oil rig or something, they were just dirty. They had oil and greasy all over them. And they're sitting in the corner. And they were talking pretty loud, and it was okay until they started dropping the F bomb and a bunch of other curse words. Kind of gave them the mama look, and it wasn't long they got up and left. Like, Thank goodness. I thought I was going to have to go over there and smack them. I said, I said that I told my friend Robin, not Robin Skywatch. This is a different Robin. I do actually have two friends named Robin. I told her, I said, it's the same thing that makes people you drop the F bomb at the top of their lungs in a restaurant. They rude. They just rude. Their mamas would probably be dismayed to hear their children talking like that in a restaurant. My son talked like that in a restaurant, and I found out. I don't care if he's 31 years old or not. I'd be scobbing his noggin. So anyway, I told my children's church kids one day that I was going to scob their noggins. They wanted what scob their noggin meant, so I showed them. They decided they didn't want me to scob their noggins. The one I experimented on said, Miss Cindy, that hurts. I said, well, why do you think I would threaten to scob your noggin if I wasn't doing something to you that was going to hurt? I wouldn't be offering to do something for misbehavior that would feel good. Silly kid. There we go. So this is going to be just a little journaling card. We're going to put something on it. But we're going to ink up the edges because I left a piece of stuff there. Anyway. I don't know. My son tries to explain things to me about why things are such as they are. I just look at him like a tree full of hooting owls. Tree full of hootie owls. Big eyes with my mouth open. Like, seriously, you expect me to buy that? That's usually my thought. You're expecting me to buy that excuse? Oh, and his thing is very fond of sharing with me that it's just a millennial thing, and I'm like, it's just a rude thing. Don't blame it on the millennials, although they like to blame a lot of things on themselves. But anyway, we're just looking to see what all's in our treasure boxes and all this stuff that we've put back. Oh, let's do this. The only thing about that is, I guess we'll just use a little bit of tape around it. So vellum does not like glue. It does not react very well with glue. I love that. It does not react well at all with glue. Some of my music. Somebody just buzzed at me. Let's see who's buzzing me. Oh. That's fine. I did that. Okay. Nope. Wrong person. Anyway. So, but I've decided this all by my own. Nobody prompted me to think this. That first of all, I'm old. And second of all, I'm kind of judgmental. Actually, I am a whole lot judgmental about a whole lot of things. I am. Okay, these are some Christmas papers I tore out of. I had a little 6x6 book left. What does that say? French sweet chocolate. Okay. I have a bunch of little stamps there. Ah, right here. What's that right there? Let's see what that is. Oh, I see what exactly what those are. Those are some little cards. Those would be cute on. So I know what I'm going to do now. I know what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to slide that down and lay it over here out of the way. I'm going to use one of these, and I'm going to use that on a tag, on a tag. And I'm going to use this on my thing there. So, anyway, I was sharing with Sharon last night. Uh, that I was just sharing this story about Dave being in the hospital. I said I forget some of those that people that have not been around since I started doing videos haven't heard a lot of Dave's story because I don't tell it a lot anymore like I used to. Anyway, we're just gonna give it just a little bit of a crumple so it don't look so like she is a sweetheart. Anyway, so I was telling her some of the story about how that, so actually how it kind of all happened. I was I was listing some jewelry on eBay, taking pictures and listing jewelry. My phone rang, and it was an unknown number, but for some reason I answered it. Actually, I think I answered unknown numbers more back that in that day than I do now. Anyway, and it was Dave's cousin that he had actually bought the barbershop from. And so he actually owned a barbershop just up the road from Dave. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm just taking pictures, listing some stuff on eBay." And he said, "Well," he said, "had a customer come in to get a haircut, and he had been down at Dave's barbershop getting his haircut, and Dave collapsed, and the ambulance came and took him to the hospital." And he said it's pretty bad, that you probably should go to the hospital anyway. So man, I just hit the ground, and I'm going the back way across town to the hospital, which wasn't real far, the back way. And I get to, now I should preface this by saying that the ladies group in my church, we had just finished a study about, what was it about? It was a Priscilla Shire study about the gifts of the Spirit, I believe, or the fruit of the Spirit. Anyway, one of those. We had just finished that. So that's a nice little journal tag. I like it. Then we can write on the back and stick it in pockets. Anyway, we had just finished that, and so my faith was really, really high, and so I'm going. Of course, I'm praying as I'm going, and I get about to Ida Burns School, and if you don't live in the area, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But there's just a little school over there called Ida Burns, and I did at that point have a friend that I went to church with that worked at that school. Anyway, we're about the middle of the afternoon, and I'm praying, and I get over there, and I just felt impressed that the Lord told me to start speaking life. Quit being worried, start speaking life. And I got over there, I started saying, "He will live and not die. He will live and not die. Devil, you are not killing my husband. You are not." Anyway, and so I just started speaking that, and I get to the hospital, and it's a lot worse than I thought it was. I'm thinking Dave had over the years. Dave had dizzy spells where he'd get real clammy and nearly pass out, and that's what I thought happened anyway. But no, it was a lot worse, and they just flat out tell me they don't know. They don't know if he's going to make it. They don't know what caused it. They'd done had him down and done a CT scan to see if he had a heart attack. He did not have a heart attack. They didn't know what caused it. And yeah, anyway, so what they were doing was uh, they were going to lower his body temperature and keep it low for 24 hours so that it would give his heart time to rest and heal, because his heart was only operating like real low percentage, like less than 25%. uh I mean, he got shocked 3 times in the in his shop at the barber shop. They shocked him 3 times. And then when he got to the hospital, they injected adrenaline straight into his heart. And then they took him to CT to do a CAT scan to see why this happened. And he coded, I think they said 2 or 3 times over there. And so anyway, it was pretty serious. And the doctors were telling us, you know, this is really serious. They're kind of like trying to prepare us that Dave's not going to make it. And anyway, finally, I'm just like, look, he's going to walk out of this hospital. I know some of y'all don't think so, but he is. And I finally put a note up in his room. He was in CCU, cardiac care unit. He's in CCU, and I put a note up on the wall that if you had anything negative to speak about Dave's situation, not to say it in his room, in his presence. Take me out in the hall and tell me. Anyway, and one of the doctors, as I wrote in my journal, because I journaled all the way through that, wrote in my journal, the first doctor that peed in my cereal was Dr. Norris. And Dr. Norris was Dave's mom's doctor, heart doctor. And he told me, he said, so let me go back, okay, because after they, so to cool him down to this degree, they put him in a medicated coma, cost for medicine, and a medicated paralytic state, okay? Uh, because when your body gets cooled down like that, it shakes. And when your body shakes, that doesn't give your heart the chance to rest that it needs. Anyway, so they cooled him down, and it takes like 48 hours for them to get you cooled, and then after that, it's like they keep you cold for 24 hours, then they warm you back up over like a 72-hour period and take you off of the paralytic and the coma medicine, and you should start waking up. Well, Dave didn't wake up. Dave didn't wake up for many days. Many days. He spent 21 days in CCU, and then they moved him up to the floor. And up on the floor, he still wasn't awake. He would grunt at us. If you say something to him, he'd say, but he was not awake to converse with you, to anything. Anyhow, so they got him to a point where the insurance was saying he's got to come out of the hospital because he's been in here so long, he's got to go somewhere. He's got to go somewhere else. So we found a nursing home that promised us they would do therapy with him. My mind is wandering here. They would do therapy with him and physical therapy and all that, and work with him to get him back up and going. Anyway, when we got over there on the 19th of December, he spent Christmas in the nursing home. It was a horrible Christmas, horrible, horrible Christmas. And yeah. Anyway, spent Christmas in the nursing home, and uh, on like the 27th or the 28th, he started projectile vomiting, and they took him back to the hospital, and he was impacted, and he spent 2 weeks in the hospital getting all flushed out. Anyway, so that was like the 28th or 29th of December that he went back over there, and on New Year's Day, which was on a Sunday that year, uh, Dave, I went to church. And at church, the pastor called me up and they prayed for Dave and prayed for me and just, prayed over us. And I went back to the hospital after I ate lunch. I went to the hospital and Dave opened his eyes and he started talking. And he hadn't shut up since. I mean, just be honest, he ain't shut up since. But he just started talking up a storm. And he knew, who everybody was and all that. Now, if you understand anything about a brain injury, you're going to understand this right here. So, Dave had a brain injury, and the kind of brain injury that Dave had uh, made a lot of his actions very childlike. Like his primary care doctor said, think of it as him having the thought process of a 8 or 9 year old little boy. I was like, okay, I can do that. I can think that. Anyway, well, it never failed that when my dad or the pastor was there, Dave would drop wordy words. He would say naughty words. And usually it was the F bomb. He would drop it, which Dave never said that word before he got sick. I mean, that was just not a word in Dave's vocabulary. But after he got sick and he woke back up, he said it all the time. Anyway, one day his sister told him, said, Dave, said, now you know that's naughty. You know that is naughty, and you should not be saying that word. She said, you need to start using your filter, Dave. Well, Dave could not process the word filter, and so he kept saying, he'd tell his sister, I'm using my pilferer. I'm using my pilferer. And so now it's turned into a big joke that Dave uses his pilferer instead of his filter. He uses his pilferer. So anyway, but after they got the impact cleared up, we went back to the nursing home. He was more aware, and so they brought in the physical therapist to work with him. Now, she was a big girl, not as in she was fat, as in she was nearly as tall as Dave, which is 6'4", and loud. Oh my Lord, she was loud. And every time she'd come in and talk to him, he would try to get away from her, and he would scoot away from her as hard as he could, which he couldn't move very well because he wasn't very mobile. But he'd try to he'd just shrink away from her. Anyway, and I know I've got my mouth turned away from this. Hold on just a second. I'm looking for something. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this bucket right here. Let me get it. Okay, so Dave would shrink away from her. And the one day that she tried to do physical therapy with him, she was so loud, and he was trying to shrink away from her in the wheelchair that he kept just trying to slide away from her, and he slid right out of the wheelchair into the floor. So they never tried anymore after that. And we were getting very frustrated. And my sister-in-law is a social worker, and she's also an administrator in a pediatric care facility, and she knows the proper way to get things done. And she called a meeting with the administrators, the physical therapy people, the nursing staff, and she told them, this is what you said you would do. This is what you're not doing. We're not happy. We're not happy. Anyway, so in fact, she says, we're so unhappy that something's going to be done about it. So the little nurse's aide told me, she said, that took care of him, she said, Mrs. Loven, she said, do you realize that no matter what they promised you here, kind of thing, their main objective is to keep him as a patient here. They want him to stay as a patient. So they get his Social Security and all that. That's how these people make a living that own this. She said, if you were to take him home, you could get home health to come and they would work with him. Anyway, so I talked to Dave's sister, and she said, they're right. If you were to take him home, you could get home health to come. And she said, you'd probably be further along than what you're doing. So we brought down the party van. Dave's mom had a van that was wheelchair accessible. We borrowed a wheelchair and we took Dave home in the party van on February the 14th. And we took him home. We had a hospital bed ready for him, set up in my dining room. My dining room got turned into Dave's room, and we set it up. And physical therapy came the next day. And within a week, 1 week, they had David up walking. And within 2 weeks, they had him so far along that they discharged him to go to outpatient therapy. And he went to outpatient therapy for like another month, and then they discharged him. So anyway, so it was a miracle. And then we ended up moving here, so in September of that same year. So we had to find somewhere cheaper to live. So, but yeah, we came here, and here we've been, and here's how you guys found me, right here, making videos. I started with April and Deb, I can't remember, Deb's Treasure, I think was her name. And I've been here ever since. So anyway, but yeah, lots and lots of stuff. We had an episode after about the 5 year mark where Dave did the same thing that he did in the barbershop. He tried to die on me, but because he had a defibrillator pacemaker combo, it shocked him, and he got shocked like 12 times in like a 2 hour period. And they med flighted him to Tulsa and adjusted all of his stuff and put him back on a medicine that he has to stay on. It's not a good medicine. It's a horrible medicine, but sometimes you have to take horrible medicines to keep you alive. So anyway, so we've made a one journal card and one tag while we've talked, and that's a tag that was already made. So, and this is what we've done for day 6, and I saw something there that I wanted to do here. So, so let me show you. If you just came in, let me show you what day 6 looked like. Day 5, day 4, day 4, 5, day 6. Here we go. Day 6. This is our cover. So remember I told you that I had tore that, and so I put the little green thing on it. Then I put that red striped tree and the number 6 over it. We have the red Christmas. We have these trees and a tree, and then a Christmas song. That was actually what we done for our prompt. And I saw this while ago, and it it stuck in my head that I wanted to use it. So I have a bunch of these printed off in that are my printer color was wrong. Was my printer was almost out of colored ink, and I'll show you here just a second. So we're going to put this right here. I think right there. Put that there. So anyhow, yeah. I saw Lori Beth come in a while ago, didn't I? Did I not see Lori Beth come in and say hi? Did you come in there? Did I not see? There she is. I see her. There she is. You like those little trees under the music? Oh, that's a. Hold on, I'll show you. I have another piece of that. That is a piece of a digital kit that I was gifted from my friend Jude, and I think I have one more whole piece of it in here. Yeah, I do. So this is what it looks like. The whole it's like for a journal pages. So you would fold it and put it in your journal. Yep, I have one more piece of it. So I'm looking for my words like this that are a wrong color. So I have them in a little baggie, I believe, in this. See, I have a whole bunch of these words. I have them all. I really should keep them all together, shouldn't I? Looky there. I think that's them. Oh, those are just the Christmas words. There they are. I'll show you. So this is what they turn out. Oh, y'all, I have words. I have words everywhere. Okay, I just do. I have words. I like words. Do you like words? I have this bag of Christmas words. I have this bag of Christmas words. Then I have a bunch of I have a bunch of little stuff here that can be used. But I have are those all? Nope, those are just all little cutouts to be used. Then I have all of these things like this. And then I have words in here. There are a page of words here. And I have the words that I made. And I have a page of words that I copied out of my book, out of my that book that I was sent. What did I don't even know where they went. Anyway, so yeah, we're not hurting for words, guys. We got the words. You need the word? There we go. We got some words. So anyway. But this is what your ink when you're running out of ink, this is how they printed. So this is what they're supposed to look like. Oh, and see I got a bunch of them cut out in here. And then this is what they printed like when you're running out of ink. But I liked that purpley color. So anyway, y'all know me. I just like words. I need to cut all those out and get them all out. So Bissy says hi to Aunt Cindy. Hi, kitty, kitty. So Lori has has a kitty. You have more than one kitty, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, Lori has kitties. Lori Beth has a little poodle named Kipper or Kip, and Cindy has a mean little doggy. If you're friends with me on Facebook, did you watch the picture of Did you watch the video of my Blakey talking to me, telling me how much she loves her granny and papa? That was my last dog. She was a boxer, and so here's part of Dave's stories. Okay, here's part of Dave's story. So Blakely had cancer, and the tumors were coming faster than anything could be done with it about them. And she had one in her mouth that was very, very disturbing. And she had been in a lot of pain and was starting to lose weight because she couldn't eat. And she was a big girl. Anyway, we had made the hard decision that it was time to let her go. And so on Halloween, October the 31st, we had her put down and took her up to Dave's brother's land and buried her. And anyway, and so at night when I would come home from the hospital because it was so close. And those 21 days that Dave was in the CCU, you could not stay in the CCU with him. You could stay out in the waiting room, but I knew that I needed the rest. And I was already struggling. My blood pressure was off the charts. It was so high. It was just horrible. They had upped my I called the doctor and told him what was going on. He had upped my blood pressure medicine as high as a dose as he could with that kind of medicine. Anyway, uh, yeah. So I would go home and sleep, and I'd go home and I would just cry because Blakely wasn't there and Dave wasn't there, and my mom and dad were there. Anyway, they pretty much just kind of stayed with us that whole 100 days. Anyhow, I'd just cry. But then, in retrospect, and even then, I realized that if I'd ever come home and found her passed away, they'd have just had to take me to the funny farm. Anyway, so I mean, they would have just had to take me and put me in the nut house in a straitjacket, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so it was good that we had made, that decision. And there were a lot of things that happened up to that point that was just kind of, I don't want to say ironic, but was very good things. Like, it happened on a Thursday. The weekend before, we had, well, the Friday, Saturday, Saturday and Sunday, we had gone to Branson and celebrated our anniversary. And anyway, and so then we'd come home. And as usual, we'd come home and hit the ground just running. Uh, we came home in time for Dave to go Sunday night at the church. He had a deacon's meeting. No, that Sunday night. We'd come home in time for church on Sunday night. Then Monday night he had the deacon meeting. Tuesday night he had drove the van for Royal Rangers, which Sunday he drove the van to pick up people for church. Wednesday night he had actually preached that night, and then Thursday's when he fell sick. Anyway, and I was saying to Sharon last night, I said, "You'll never convince me otherwise." Because I've had people say, "Well, why don't you think that God restored Dave completely back?" Even Dave and I have asked this. Why do we think that God didn't restore him completely back to what he was? And I think it's because God knew that if he restored him back to what he was, we would pick up and go right back to what we were doing, which was Dave was working himself to death. He literally was just working himself under the table, uh, between church and all that. And he knew that we would pick right back up to that. And so it had to be this way, just so that Dave could live out the number of days that God had foreordained for him. And so here we are. Does Dave like that he's not able to work and not able to do all the things that he wants? Nope, he don't. Does he sometimes aggravate me and make my life miserable because of it? Yes, he does. And when I'm super stressed, y'all can usually you should connect that to the fact that Dave is had this is what he does to me. He'll come into me and he'll say, "I had an idea." And I say, "Oh dear Jesus, please deliver me." Anyway, but when he tells me he has an idea, I know that it's something that involves me making something happen for him, whether it's him going to preach somewhere or him wanting to, I mean, just something, you know. Dave is, he still is a good teacher, preacher, whatever you want to call it. He was never really one of those what we call a snorting and stomping preacher. He was always a teacher kind of preacher. Anyway, and he's very good, very detailed, very knows a lot. Uh, he gets mad because he can't always remember everything that he knows. But anyway, so every once in a while he gets antsy about wanting to teach, and he'll, I have 5 uncles that are pastors. He'll want me to call one of them and see if he can. Usually I can talk my way out of it. So, but anyway, he makes me very anxious on days like that. Or, yeah, anyway. So, but, but yeah, anyhow, it's not been easy, but it wouldn't have been easy if he'd have died neither. So, it would not have been easy if he'd have passed away. So you just do what you do. And here the thing about it is all my married life, Dave always wanted me to just be home, and he wanted me to be a housewife, to have his supper waiting when he came home. When I had kids, take care of the kids. I homeschooled my kids. So all my life, I hadn't worked much. Early in our marriage, I worked some, but not a whole lot. Most of the time, it always ended up I came back home and stayed home with the babies. Anyway, but I say came back, but I would, you know what I mean. I hadn't left. Like, but I, you know. Anyway, so I tease him and tell him if I'd known I was going to have to work the late shift, I would have signed up for the early shift. This working when you're nearly 60s for the birds. So anyway, he said, "Well," he said, I didn't sign up to not work on the late shift." I know, Dave. I know. So anyway, what did I do with that little thing? There it is. Got all those cut out. So anyhow, but it is what it is, and we do what we do, right? So that, and if you've never understood, that's why I have the sales. I mean, it's literally like a job for me. That's why I sell jewelry, and that's why I sell crafty stuff. Is because the job that I have, that I do feel called to, my my children's pastor job, is just not quite enough with what Dave draws for us to pay everything to do. You know. Now, could we cut back? Of course, we could cut back, but you know, when you get this age, you feel like, Lord, shouldn't we be able to have something? you know? So, anyway, can't we have a Big Mac every once in a while, Lord? Actually, me and Dave had Chinese food yesterday. So, but, yeah. But I've cut way back on my shopping, I can tell you that. My buying and stuff. In fact, when I done my taxes in October, she said, "You spent $5,000 less this year than you did last year." Like, oh, you know, you don't spend it if you don't got it, right? Because I was griping at her about how can my taxes be the same when I made $7,000 less than I did last year. And she's like, because you spent $5,000 less than you did last year. Well, I can't spend that $5,000 if I make 7,000 less. It's a vicious cycle, ain't it? Vicious cycle, and this year's going to be even more interesting because it's been worse than last year was. So here we go. So I'm going to go because I need to make a video for day 8, which is Sunday. I've done day 7, which is tomorrow, and I need to make a video for day 9, which is Monday, and probably do one for day 10, which is Tuesday. Let's see. I am going to show y'all something. I'm going to show you something. Uh, I got my hair cut yesterday, so I'm going to show you. Actually, she just trimmed it and thinned it. She gave me a good thinning, and I'm trying to think. Did I comb my hair? But I do remember combing it. So I'll show y'all. Let's see if you can see me. There we are. Hold on. There, almost. You can almost see it. So, except for it's sticking up. But yeah, it's just she just trimmed it. We have all the curls left. You should have seen the pile of and thinned it. She thinned it out big time. There was a whole dustpan full of hair. Anyway, but it's just from being thin. So anyway, yeah. So we left it longer than I normally wear it. We're gonna go back down here. But hi, Bubba, I hear you. Good morning. Good morning, baby. You decided to get up? Hold on. Come here. Come here. Come here. You see here. Come here. Look at that. Look at there's a little doggy. There's a little doggy. Say hi, Rocky. Say hi, Rocky. They're my baby. Hi, Michelle. I'm just fixing to leave. I'm just fixing to leave. There's my pups. Hi. You see what he's staring at? His mama. Him was his mama. Him was his mama. Come here. Come here. You want up here? Come here. Don't look at the floor. I've got stuff in the floor. It needs cleaned. So that's a Jared job. Let's see. I got it 2 page. So him is cute. Him is rotten. That the rusty man. Yep, the rusty man. So him is a rotten little doggy. Hi, baby. Want up here with mom? And say no. You got the camera on. So you'll be going live at 2. At 2 your time or 2 mom time. I will be over there watching. Is Lisa coming live with you? I'm fixing to say bye and go and make some videos that I'll post later. So anyway, Lord, I don't know what in the world I'm going to do this time because we may use Christmas wrapping paper. It took me forever to decide what I was going to do. Well, between 9 and 10. So anyhow, so I'll see you guys later. Y'all have a great weekend, okay? And I shall see you. Bye bye.